Good afternoon, licensed private investigators and Australian Security Academy students. It's Mike Evans and Casey Pine with episode 228, the very busy Casey Pine, who's going to tell us some really big news very soon.
I am. It's been an exciting week.
It's been a very exciting week. I don't know how she fitted it all into 7 days. I think Casey's going to be sleeping for the next week. So very exciting news, people. And down the bottom of the screen, it's there saying, type hashtag spy in the chat and you could win these must-have 007 cufflinks. It doesn't get much better than that. So please type in hashtag spy in the chat. G'day, Michelle. Good to see you. Hope everything's good down in Byron Bay. Hi, Xavier. Hope things are great in Melbourne. And g'day, Claire. Hope things are great in Victoria. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in, everyone. Type in hashtag spy. If you've won previously, you can win these cufflinks. Don't miss it, okay? You got to have them. G'day, Chantel. Great to see you. Thanks for checking in. G'day, Megan. Great to see you too. Thanks for checking in. And don't forget, type in hashtag spy, because then Casey can't see if it's a comment or if people want to be in it. So type it in there and keep everybody confused. Now, the question for this week was, what's the difference between an outcome?
They're too cool not to just have and put on your dresser.
You could wear them as earrings, I think, Michelle, if you buy his partner a drill for Father's Day, okay, and then drill 2 big holes and you might be able to wear them for earrings. Anyway, the question for this week, and it's a really, really good question, is what's the difference between the outcomes of a private investigation as against the outcomes of a police investigation?
Good answer.
Well, that's an answer. I didn't want an answer.
Good question.
So what is the difference between the outcome of a private investigation and a police investigation? The outcome of a police investigation, everybody knows it. It's in the newspaper, it's on the news, it's on TV. That's it. Okay, you can go to court and read the transcript, or you can download it on the internet. You will know. And what happens is, if a police officer is standing on the corner, right, and there's a criminal walking past 15 metres away and they get struck by lightning and they fall at the police officer's lap while the police officer's there eating donuts, and they go, oh, there's a criminal down there. And they just accidentally arrest this guy, have him charged, and he goes to jail for 3 years for all his criminal activities. That police officer can dine out on that for the next 10 years. G'day, Freddie. Great to see you, mate. Because everybody's going to go, what a great policeman, police officer, sorry, blew that, arrested that criminal and had them charged. And they're going to go and have, basically they're going to be invited to lunch with the governor, and they're going to have cucumber sandwiches at the governor's residence, and they'll be dining out on the fact that this criminal they arrested's gone to jail for the next 10 years, and they'll be having high teas with the chief commissioner, and basically the media will approach them about a book to write about them. This is your life. And they'll get their own star on the sidewalk. And that's what it's like for a police investigation outcome. And it gets even better than that. I mean, this is what happens to them after they have that success. I've just got to find it. So if I was a police officer, this is what would happen. There's me and the top cop, Katrina, in Queensland. There, she's given me a medal in the middle because of my outstanding police investigation. And here's what it'll be like in New South Wales with El Supremo Karen, Commissioner, giving me a medal for my outstanding investigation. And this is what it would look like in Victoria. I'm not interested in a bloke giving me a medal, so sorry, mate. So, you know, that's what it's like. It's a real big fuss and a real big deal. If you're a private investigator and you bust someone committing fraud on surveillance, like in these cases, so this one got to Channel 7, and this one got to Channel 7, and this one got to Channel 7, Okay. You know what happens? They go, oh shit, we've got someone committing fraud on video. Now what are we going to do? You don't get dinner with the Governor General. You don't get to dine out on it and cruise and have time off for the next 10 years saying what a good investigator you are. You don't. You just get on with your next one tomorrow. And the insurance company's got one hell of a problem. They've got someone who has committed fraud openly, and they've proved it over several days in a row, and you don't get a medal. You don't get any acknowledgement. That's what you're expected to do. So that's the major difference between the two. All right. The police officers get all the glory for accidents. We put in the hard work, and that's what happens to us. So keep that in mind. I thought that was a really good question, and I hope that illustrates that you're expected to do what you do. There's no glory. Just keep going and keep doing it. You just get another file tomorrow. That's it. That's the way it goes in civil investigations. Last week, I told you we wrote to the Commissioner of SLED in relation to showing licenses, which is part of the Act, to get an exemption for Australian Security Academy students, so we don't have to look like this, like Casey and I would here if we were on surveillance, with our licenses shown in everybody's face. We don't want to look like that. And we haven't had a reply yet, but they've only had 7 days. They've got to consider this. The Commissioner's got very serious work, like having lunch and getting their photo taken with cops that bust criminals, as seen earlier on this program. And so we're not expecting an answer overnight, but I'll keep you updated on that when it comes in. We have a very important job this week. I thought this was a really good job. So let's have a look at this position vacant that you can see on the Australian Security Academy Facebook page. Here it is. Australian Football League in Brisbane, Queensland are looking for an investigator for the Football Association in Queensland. This role will incorporate absolute beginner levels at training for young people right through to the elite sports professional level. So they aim to reflect communities where the game is played by recruiting locally where possible to strengthen the connection with grassroots players in the football world throughout Australia. The AFL works tirelessly in all states at all levels to enhance and grow the game. The Compliance and Investigation Lead in Queensland Australian Football League is an integral position for the AFL. You'll work closely with state-based competition managers. The role is responsible for providing advice and support relating to all compliance, tribunal and integrity issues in Queensland, along with leading investigations relating to match day environments. This is a great opportunity to be part of the AFL in Queensland and contribute to compliance in community Aussie rules football. They say this role would suit someone who previously worked in a law enforcement environment, has a strong legal background, or who has experience working in compliance, conducting investigations, and is looking to move into a football environment without suiting up and going onto the ground. So here's a day in the life of the key accountabilities of the Compliance and Investigation Lead for Queensland AFL. The key accountabilities include implement and apply standard national community football guidelines, rules, regulations and policy in the local Queensland market, relationship management of affiliates in Queensland, Mount Isa and AFL. You will manage all tribunal matters to ensure tribunals are delivered in line with national policy and process. Work with the AFL Integrity on all integrity matters in Queensland to ensure timely and appropriate outcomes. So that could relate to match fixing, it could relate to transfer of players, it could relate to behind the scenes altercations, racial abuse, sexual harassment, racial discrimination, all this kind of thing. Every day is going to be totally exciting as the AFL Integrity Investigator in Queensland. You will identify trends and issues and work closely with club development and experienced managers on any required education in community and club environments. you'll contribute to key projects within and outside of the core role, and you'll support and contribute to the success of the broader team environment in the AFL. To do this role, you must have strong, complex stakeholder management skills and ability to work under pressure in a fast-paced environment, proven history of leading best practice in investigations end-to-end, that's from complaint to finalisation, demonstrated record of integrity and appropriate handling of confidential information, demonstrated record of a knowledge of AFL policies, rules and regulations, willing to understand and ability to become conversant with the AFL National Community Policy Handbook. Well, okay. Previous experience in the application of policy in a supporting or similar environment that meets legislative and legal principles. Knowledge of community sporting frameworks, ideally knowledge of Australian rules football, like myself. High level of interpersonal presentation and written skills, ability to apply sound judgment and objectivity to a broad range of scenarios, self-motivated and able to work within strict timeframes for 4 quarters every day. So jump on the Facebook page for Australian private, government and corporate investigators, follow the links and apply for this job as the investigator for Queensland AFL. It's a great opportunity. You don't want to miss it. Get on board and stamp your authority in the Australian Sports Elite League of the AFL and promote it from grassroots up. Good luck with that one. In your lifetime, you'll never see any other idiot change tyres more often in a 3-minute segment than I just did there, spectacularly to support the AFL. G'day, DJ. Good to see the South Australian private detectives and Port Power supporter in the house. It's great, mate. Hope you liked the Thai performance in the previous segment, and not to have her parade rained on. G'day, mate. How you going, Tony? With all the big news, get ready, people. Here it comes. Pour yourself a big cup of tea because here's Casey's news.
Well, this has been very exciting for me this week because last week I was approved by the Department of Home Affairs to become an identity service provider. So yesterday at a technology show, I launched my brand new product, which is in line with everything I do with the mini background checks for Quick Look. And it is, QuickVerify. So now I have the ability to do bank grade biometric scans, verify identity documents, and you get a pass or a fail of the person that you are looking to identify. So that means that they take a selfie, all the technology does the work, so checks for AI filters and all that stuff, checks your biometric points, and then scans your license, runs it against government databases, and it all comes through within 4 minutes, and you get a pass or a fail so you know who you're actually dealing with. So this is really important for your general public who say, for example, I've seen a really nice Louis Vuitton handbag for sale on Marketplace, and it was $5,000. Now it's $2,000. Thank you, Claire. And $2,000 is still a lot of money to pay to a stranger over the internet. And I'm using this example because I've had a number of clients who have lost money this way. And I'm looking to spend $2,000 with Belle Grandiose from Melbourne because she doesn't need this handbag anymore. So I can go to the Quick Look website, buy a QuickVerify, which sends me a link, which I just send on to Belle and say, hey, can you quickly verify yourself for me so I know that you are a true person and not a scammer? So she does the selfie and then she scans her license, and none of that information comes through to me. I'm just a consumer. I don't need that kind of information. It just sends me a pass or fail notification. Thanks so much. So that way we can protect ourselves when we're interacting online. I also have business solutions, which is why it becomes interesting for private investigators. When it comes to, thank you, when it comes to coercive control, I know as a private investigator myself, and I have these kind of suspicious private jobs come through that I do not like taking because I'm not sure who I'm dealing with. And it might seem, if anything remotely ventures into seeming like a coercive control, it's an automatically no. But sometimes you get something that just feels a bit off. And I can now, thanks, Evan, ask for them to verify their identity, which means that as an investigator, I know exactly who I'm taking a job from. So with my business solutions, I can set you up a business account essentially, and you actually get the document with their selfie and their license for your records. So you know exactly who that client is. You're not taking on something dodgy. You're protecting yourself and your career and your investigation. And that way we know exactly who we are dealing with. So it's a really important development in the know your person field for individual investigators who don't necessarily have the capabilities to do this themselves. And rather than saying, hey, can you take a picture of your license? And it could be anybody's license. People have become so adept at manipulating images. Even if you see the image in that license there is actually my license. And I've just played with the image and it's now the Jane Doe that I've got there. And I've changed all the writing and it looks like a normal license. I just did that really in under 5 minutes. It's so easy to manipulate documents, but when you have bank grade biometrics and identity verification, which goes directly against the document service for the Department of Home Affairs, oh, that's a mouthful, then you know that these are really good points of verification. So I'm super excited to offer this to consumers so that they know that who they're dealing with and they can protect themselves, but also investigators and investigation agencies who would like that capability of actually being able to genuinely verify the people that they're taking cases from. So that's super exciting, launched yesterday. And am already getting a crazy amount of interest, which is fantastic. I'm really, really excited. Another way to fight scams in Australia.
That is absolutely sensational. So you're on Gumtree, you see that American motorcycle that you just have to have, and before you part with your $48,000 for that motorcycle, you want to check out who the seller actually is and if they're real. You go to Casey. You want to buy that designer dog puppy that's on Gumtree. You go to Casey to verify that the person selling it is the real deal. So this has an enormously large amount of applications for people to do checks on in regards to who they're dealing with.
Thanks, Freddie.
So it's Casey's effort, it's Casey's design, it's her business. It complements what she does as an investigator and offers a protection for investigators, particularly in the matters of marital and relationship surveillance. It gets a bit messy sometimes. So you can check the background of the person who's requesting the investigation. Never, ever do your own marital and relationship surveillance. Never, ever. Always hire a professional because you're only going to get upset if you do it yourself. So price point. Good question.
Yeah,
here we go.
Absolutely. It's $21.99 for a one-off, but I will have business and enterprise solutions, which is a lot cheaper, and you can even get your own branding on it. So it's in conjunction with QuickLooks, so it looks nice and professional.
There you go. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Contact Doesn't work like that, no, people.
You never want me to sleep again, do you?
Well, it's your silly idea. It's Casey's great
I've
idea.
been
And
told it's
look,
brilliant.
the
Okay.
whole of the investigation community in Australia, the very wide investigation community in Australia, absolutely impressive, Casey. That was just fantastic. You didn't have time to come on today and tell us about that. I know you didn't, but somehow after getting home at 11 o'clock last night and arranging and coordinating our program today for Spy Curious and sending out the email and coming on today, Casey's found time to do that. But welcome back from holidays, Amber. It's great to see you back. It's really good. You've been watching episode 228 of Spy Curious, and people, this is your last chance. Type in the chat #spy. All right, last chance, and you're going in the draw to win that. Now, we were asked, what's a lady going to do with cufflinks? I've come up with a solution, people. So you can use it as naval jewelry. So there you are. You can't say I don't include everybody in these prizes. So there you go. Earrings and naval jewelry. You'll have a spare one. They come individually packed. Look at that. I mean, these aren't $1.50 cufflinks. All right. I think they're $7.50 ones. So it's pretty good.
I agree, Michelle. Ew. We're going to stick it on our navel. Who has a belly button pierce these days?
I was just trying to help. All right, ladies, leave me alone.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
You want to run the show, do you, Casey? We've got some cufflinks to give away. Here we go. I'm going to try and do this. Oh, hang on. I've got to bring it up first. No. Stream. Hang on. It's coming. Here we go. Can you see that, Case?
Yep.
You can see #spot with 5 entries. Let's see who's going to get our must-have cufflinks. Okay, so incognito, you must private message me your postal address and I will send out your
I know who that is.
your must-have cufflinks, and we're going to have a whole bunch of people saying, and I know this for a fact, that when I say who is incognito, they're all going to go. No, it's not working like that. 1,000 people can't win. There's only one incognito, and I can check you and biometrically check you. For, how much was it, Casey?
$21.99.
And incognito's very happy. Well, sorry. All right. So people, if you're looking for a job as a private investigator, now I've got to ask this question 5 minutes before we came on today. I live on the border of New South Wales and Victoria. Is there any opportunity for me to get work as a licensed private investigator? I'll tell you what. Get on this page, our Facebook page. Yeah, look, those cufflinks are really worth winning. You should be excited. When you go to a job interview and you just put your wrists up, right, they're going to employ you straight away. Right? So go to this Facebook page and you'll see the job vacancies there. This guy at the Seeker Group, if you contact him this afternoon, if you're a licensed investigator in Melbourne, you'll start work Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. Working for the Seeker Group. All right. So there are literally jobs everywhere for private investigators all around Australia. SureFact are looking for investigators. Allied Universal are looking for investigators. M&A Investigations are looking for investigators. There's many more. Clarity are looking for investigators, and all those job vacancies. You only have to go here. All right. You have to ask to join that page. All right. You've got to say, I'm an Australian citizen and I'm looking for work as a licensed private investigator, and you will see them there. If you want other information, go here to our whatever it is page, and you can see the replay of what you've just watched and see that job vacancy for the AFL in Queensland. What a great job. I'd love to have that
YouTube,
job.
mate.
Yeah,
YouTube.
really, YouTube channel. That's what they're called. All these newfangled things that people keep coming up with, quick looks and all that sort of stuff. So, oh dear. Should have listened to my mum and been a dentist. So don't forget that question. It's just do your job and get on with it, whether it's factual investigation or surveillance investigation. That's really good advice, people. You're not going to win any medals or get any credit for your work. And like I said, police, they know the outcome of their investigation. The most frustrating thing about private investigations, particularly for insurance, is they sign confidentiality agreements and they agree on amount of money, and that information isn't available to anyone. So you put your heart and soul into an investigation for 6 months and you never find out the outcome. You don't. If it goes to court and it's disputed, yes, you will find out the outcome. But if it doesn't, they sign a confidentiality agreement, you put your heart and soul into that investigation professionally like you do, and you never know the outcome. And you can't ring up and ask anyone because they won't tell you because it's all confidential, so they can't tell you. So that's really, really important. And it's a thing you must know as an investigator and be prepared for. So there are job opportunities out there, people. Why are there job out? Why are we needed? We look for the way in.
Always find a way in.
Look for a way in. We've got to find a way in.
Find a way in and spy on them.
They find their way in.
Only one way to find out.
That's what we do. We look for the way in. We look for solutions. Casey's just built a business looking for solutions for people who have a problem, which is complementary to her investigation work. She's extra looked for the way in. Good on you, Casey. I hope it goes. I'm sure it goes really well. We may not be seeing Casey again on Spy Curious, or it'll cost us a fortune just to have special guest appearances, won't it, Casey?
No, never.
So you have been watching episode 228. We've really enjoyed bringing it along. Incognito enjoyed winning those cufflinks. So very popular, and I've got a couple of pairs for next week as well. If you missed it, people, we had earlier today Investigations Uni. We didn't talk about elicitation skills, but we did talk about uphold the values of the public service. So it's really important that if you're an Australian Security Academy student, you don't have access to Investigations Uni, get in touch with me and I'll give it to you. You must know that as a private investigator or a certificate for a government investigator. As a private investigator, you'll be going into government departments and you must be familiar with that. So that's really, really important. We got all our comments covered. Yep.
Small wins.
Highly valuable small wins. Well, lotto ticket, crikey. You just never ever know. Just making sure I've covered everything.
Do you see these cufflinks I'm wearing? Well, they're not just cufflinks.
Well, there you go. Not just the 007 cufflinks. That's why they're so important. We're going out in our usual way, people.
작전 종료. 전원 복귀할 것.
That's Casey Pine and Mike Evans's mission complete. As with every investigation agency all around Australia, every Friday afternoon, that's how they end. Casey, you better go and have a big rest.
I have emails to respond to now. I feel like you.
You're lucky Joy wasn't here today. She'll be answering the questions. Hope you're having a great holiday, Joy. Have a great weekend, everyone. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hope you have an enjoyable day. And we'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching, people. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.